right. There we go. And now to double check that, hey, I did forget, or did remember. Nice. To mute my stream. Wait for it. I'll get an email. It's like a routine every time. Bang, email. Thank you, YouTube, for letting me know I'm live. That's weird. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? What's up, JDS? What's up, Pedro? What's up, Pilo? What are y'all up to? Pilo's driving. I'm just hanging out. Another Monday. I should have had it right on time at 9:30, and I was like, you know what? That's not my style. So I waited. Nice. Dang, GDS bottle and hot sauce. Hell yeah. 30 bottles. Nice. That's awesome. What's up, Sherry? Teacher's watching football. Oh, yeah, Monday Night Football. They do that thing, huh? So what have y'all been up to? I swear I need a new earring for this one. It's the tragus or whatever. This little like bumpy thing on your ear, inside your ear kind of thing. This thing's gigantic. I wanted to go up a size. It was the smallest one I could find. Dang, Pila's almost home. Sweet. That's the best feeling. It's like, you're at work and then like that drive home, like right when you pull in your driveway and you're like, yes, I don't have to be there for so long. Work, what's that? Oh yeah, I always forget about the comment thing where you can like highlight like all the comments and stuff. I always forget about that. Especially if I have like one other person or more. Holy heck, that's all out the window then. I'll never remember to do that. It's new. I don't think anything's really new. The roof's fixed. It's not done, but it's fixed. So there's no giant hole now in the roof. And it actually looks like the way it was before. Except they just papered it in and put shingles everywhere. But what's up, Paula? Haven't seen you in a while, Paula. What have you been up to? I just saw you the other night. Yeah, I just saw you the other night. Besides that. What's up, Dave? There is. Where's that at, Paula? Is that the Facebook one? Is that the Mealy one? Is that the Reddit? Or is it all of them? Yeah, I remember you were here. What's up, Sandy? I haven't seen Sandy in a while either. Dang. Oh, midnight Eastern. Dang, yeah. So that's only, what, 2 hours and 14 minutes. So I guess if you're in the contest, or no, I guess you're already in the contest if you're in it, but go vote. Use your voice. Just think of it just like when it gets election time, you get all those PSAs on TV telling you to like get out there and vote. Nice, Paul's got third place. That's awesome. I didn't even do a pepper in a can. Wonder if Blumberg's on that contest. I know he was doing a pepper in a can earlier in the season. Yeah, he might not be on Facebook though. He might have did the MeWe one or something. But this is a cool little mix. It's like, I don't know, 78, probably a little more than 78 outside. So I got the back door open. You can see. And then I got the AC set to 78. So every once in a while, like you feel like a nice rush of cold air, and then it like goes away for a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's the AC, the rush of cold air, not a ghost. Although there was that woman in my hallway once. What are you doing, dog? Okay. False alarm. That's funny. Only 3 entries in the MeWe one. I didn't enter, obviously, but I am on MeWe. That's as close as I got. I haven't been on MeWe in a long time. I bet if I try to access it on my phone, which is the only place it is, I bet they're going to ask me for my password again. $67 there. Dang. I'm just guessing what it is because I have my bedroom windows open and I got this back door open. And between the two is the thermostat. So I don't know. And it's set to 78 on AC and it keeps coming on every once in a while. So. Anything new in my neck of the woods? No, just the roof. Oh yeah. No, I might have a video of it, but we had this gigantic log pile out front from the trees that fell on the house, and the other 2 trees, and then that other tree in the backyard. But they just put a giant mound of trees. I mean, they're like big logs. And like the pal is like it's longer than my truck, it's wider than my truck, and it's taller than my truck and me. Well, I guess my truck is taller than me, huh? Yeah, well, it's taller than my truck. But today they had this giant, it's like a giant, like high-sided dump bed on the back of like I don't know, some kind of diesel, and then they had like the same kind of dump bed in the as a trailer that they were driving behind it. And they had a little crane at the back of the truck. And so what they would do is they would just roll up and just like pop out this little crane and the crane would like just pick up all your stuff and throw it in there. So I got rid of like half of all of the trees and stuff, so I can actually like see stuff now. It's pretty cool. So I guess that's new. And I imagine they're going to come back and pick the rest up, because I'm pretty sure we filled that truck up pretty good. Let's see. Paulo picked 4 pounds of peppers. Nice. Nice. Sherry's going to vote for you. Am I trying to make a snake habitat? No, I didn't do it. The guys that cut up the tree, like between the crane, the skid loader or the skid steer, and the chainsaws, they just cut that stuff right up into like, I don't know, like maybe 10-foot logs or something like that. And then a skid steer would take it over and start piling it up. But it is like a snake habitat, yeah. Maybe that's why I've been seeing that cat all over that those logs and stuff. They're probably in there hunting the snakes. I know one day my dog was freaking out on the back porch, and I walked out and I saw like one of the cats that are just outside just walking away. I'm like, okay, well that's what she's barking at. And I looked over and there was a snake all like coiled up and like upside down. So apparently that cat found that snake. But yeah, it's I guess it's like a log loader or something. I don't know. It's something with like a claw on like a crane. It just comes down and they just like grab a hold of whatever they can get a hold of and pick it up and put it in the truck or in the trailer, because the crane can like reach both of them. Let's see. Usually you'd ship stuff like that around here for mulch. Yeah, they will do that a lot too. But a lot of the stuff right now, I think this is FEMA doing this, not like the town. There's a plane flying over. The town, when they do it, usually it's small limbs and stuff like that, and they mulch it. They just drive around with like this, the mulching trailer, and they just turn the thing, and like wherever they get it from, they shoot it right back there, so you get mulch out of the deal. And but this one's different. Like there's lots of people, like parts of the bike path were all shut down because there's so much branches that people put out at the road that it overflowed into the bike path. So they just put up like cones and stuff like, don't walk on a bike path here, walk out onto the road so you can almost get hit and then come back over. But nice. Pilo just got home. What's up, Pilo? What's up, Joe? What's up, Jonesy? Well, technically speaking, yeah, the hole is repaired, but we're just getting a whole new roof. So they ripped off all the shingles in the area that they had to fix, put that all back together, and then papered it so it won't like leak if it rains. And then now they're going to come back and just take all the shingles off the entire thing and just repaper and shingle the entire thing. So, but I mean, technically the hole is repaired. Yeah, you can't see out. Like if you go in the bedroom and look up through where the sheetrock used to be, you can see wood. So, nope, no skylight. Skylight would be kind of a pain in the butt to do. It can be done, but it'd be a pain. Although when you're doing your shingles, that's the best time to do it. Might as well get that done while you got everything exposed, and then you don't have to like, you know, fit it back in. The good shingles, not the 3-tab. You know it's going to be 3-tab. Nothing but the best around here at the beach. No, I'm pretty sure that's what we have on there is 3-tab, and I'm pretty sure we're getting 3-tab. Oh, there it is. What's up, Fury? I was looking at the wrong chat, but then I saw you in the other chat. Like, wait a minute, what the heck? Because I didn't have it on live chat. Man, I haven't done that in a while. Shingles from Dollar Tree? I hope not. It's got to be just good enough to like withstand some wind. But luckily, we got all these trees around us for right now to block most of the wind. Until the trees start falling on the house again. Now at least I don't have to worry about these two out front. That's still awesome. Every time I walk outside, I'm like, oh, right, those trees are gone. I'm just so used to them being like right there. Like I would use them to like line up how I would park my truck. Now they're gone. I'm just like eyeballing it. And every time I get out of my truck, I'm in like a slightly different spot. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh, okay, so I parked a little crooked this time. Or what? Snow? Oh, wait, you're in Colorado. I guess that doesn't surprise me. I remember my dad, he would always go to Colorado elk hunting. And there were so many times, like he would be gone like the end of August, beginning of September. And there were so many times he came back. He was like, yeah, it snowed while I was there. I always thought that was insane. We went there. When the hell did we go there? The second time. I think that was it early October? Or was it late? No, I think it was mid-September the first time. And I think it was like October the second time. Jeez, oh man. Peel and stick. I wouldn't go with that stuff. What kind of stuff was it? Was it that like imitation wood flooring? Or was it the imitation towel? Or because even that, what the hell is that stuff called? Linoleum. I don't know if anybody's done linoleum. That stuff sucks. But I had to do that at work. So I remember one day I came home, I was like, screw that. Because what I was doing was the people wanted their, under their sink, they wanted that like linoleum underneath. So in case it leaked, it wouldn't like just soak into the wood. And so I had to do a couple of those. And then I was like, you know what? So I came home, did my own. Peel and stick laminate tiles. Final. I don't know. You get what you pay for. Certain things you want to like, not exactly go all out, but as close to that as possible. Is hey Fury. Sometimes that's what it's like being on on a live stream. Two people talking over each other while you're just sitting there trying to read the chat real quick and see if you're missing any comments. So I guess I know what it's like to be a schizo too. Jeez, man, that's funny. I only had to do linoleum on under sinks. The only other flooring I did wood flooring, but that was like real hardwood floor. We did me, my dad, and my cousin all did my cousin's house when he was first building it, and then I helped do the kitchen tile, and then the tile before in the front door, the tile at the back door, tile in the bathroom. That was it. I didn't do the carpet. The hardwood was easy. Yeah, hardwood was just like start over there and just keep going that way. Peppa Dog's over there. What you doing, doggy? She's tired. And Peppa's still up there. Yeah, it's true. Bilo, sounds like you got an admirer. So what else y'all been doing? No, I already. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. I say the same thing over and over again anyway. But my truck broke down the other day, and that was kind of funny. But just a battery. Had an extra one. I was kind of waiting for that to happen for a long time. I guess now I can go to Walmart and get my $12 back. If that receipt's okay. I think I left that receipt like in my wallet or something. It sucks, man. Every time I get sick, I just eat the living heck out of anything spicy that I can find. Like at the bare minimum, because at least what I would do like way back in the day, because they're so easily to available, I would just have jalapenos with everything that I ate. I would eat like, oh man, probably. Well, there's times I ate like half a jar just with dinner. Not the giant jars, just those. What are they, like 12-ounce jars or whatever? Or whatever they are. Yep. Well, some people care about what's the best, but just willfully ignore it. Like I know people that like have money that would just like we're like, okay, look, this is going to be like a pretty big problem in a couple years, and it's going to have to be fixed unless we take these extra steps. No, 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 just fix it like so it's fixed real quick, you know. And then next thing you know, it's like 2 years later, you're back out there like I told you this wasn't going to last. But what are you going to do? Some people are like that, so. Sometimes you just got to let them get burned. What's up, Dave? Yep. There was so many places we took care of where they just would not fix stuff. Luckily, like one of the companies I work for, if you didn't fix stuff, they were just like, you're out. Like we're not going to like represent your place. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Good, better, best. What's up, Charles? Yeah, that there in the chat, that's one of the, the famous talk time with three pepper guys. It's kind of like the boy band of the pepper world. I only say that because of the logo. That's pretty funny. What are you up to, Charles? Fix this thing. Where we go? Resting. Rest when you're dead. It's a Monday night. There's so much action going on. What? So that was one batch, JDF? Oh, damn, you're working 7 hours. Jeez, oh, man. Is that 4 in the morning your time? Dang. Sounds like it might rain. Good weekend coming up. That's cool. Yeah, didn't you say you're done with the peppers? You picked everything that you needed and you were just like, I'm done, and just walked away from all your plants. Look at that. I called it before. Oh, JDS, in the making of those 23 bottles of hot sauce that you made, in the process where you're cutting up the peppers, I guess, did you touch your eyes? And or did you wear gloves? And if you did wear gloves, did the oil seep through after a while? 2 pairs of gloves. The only, well, unless you have like, I guess like a bigger pair of gloves, and then underneath have like latex gloves. I don't know if it was 2 pairs of latex gloves, like an oil can get through the first one, then how come it can't get through the second one too? Then that's the way I always look at it. Like, but if you had like bigger gloves where your hands like weren't exactly, no, that's not right. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out a way to like do that would work, but I just come right back to don't use anything and just wash your hands good. And use the magic stone that I've got over there. I don't know why it works. Nice. The magical ahi lemon. And I think I had, yeah, I had ahi lemons before I killed them this year. I kind of want to throw some seeds down the ground already, but it's only October. Nice. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. I still have dehydrated pods. I forgot. I don't think I have a lot because I think I was at the very beginning. Kangstar White Thai. Jeez, oh man. Sugar Rush Peach. There's a couple hot ones that I got too. Can't remember. Those are the only ones I remember. That would be good. Um, Ahi Lemon and Sugar Rush Striped. I've never had Sugar Rush Striped. I've had Ahi Lemon. I've had Sugar Rush Peach. Uh, I want to say someone gave me seeds for Sugar Rush Red or something like that, but I don't remember planting them. I think I still have my list of plants over here. Wow, I had a whole pile this year. Well, seeds put down. Jeez, man. I just looked through half of them. That's a big list. But yeah, that's why, well, I dehydrated mine and then I put them into a bag and labeled them. That way, if I wanted to like try to make some powders with different stuff or, stuff like that, then I could know like, oh, I'll just grab a few pods out of this bag and use it with a batch of this. You know, like maybe take some, I don't know, Sugar Rush peach and then like add like some hot ones that I grew. I don't remember. Well, peach ghost. But that way you get most of the flavor, the Sugar Rush, and then like some added heat. Yeah, Apollo sounds awesome. Not yet, Dave. You saw the video? Video of what? Doug snoring. I expect nothing less, Dave. Making a noise. No, I haven't really eaten anything hot. Well, I had El Yucateco last night. That's like the first time I had anything spicy in like, I don't know, a month or something. And that's not spicy at all. It's just habanero verde hot sauce that they sell at the grocery store. So, you know, it's not that hot. But that's like the hottest I've had for a while. Just stomach's all weird. The funny thing is, if I eat something spicy, it'd probably fix it right up. This dog's got the life, man. Passed out on a couch with her head on a pillow. And now she's having puppy dreams. Oh, yeah. From outside observer's view, it may look like she's just convulsing or having a seizure. Nope, just puppy dreams. Oh, man. Yeah, so I got a video of the of the crane or whatever the heck you want to call it, the log loader thing. So that's pretty cool. What was really cool was, well, it's also this like thin camera that I use. Although the zoom sucks on it, I should have used my camcorder. But I could just set it right on the window and then zoomed all the way in, so I didn't even have to touch it. I wonder how many snakes took off out of that POW when they started into that thing. Or how many of anything got crushed by like shifting logs and all of a sudden they like fall down on whatever was in the POW. Oh, you noticed my lava lamp over there? Yep. No, think I was talking. I was like, I got a lava lamp, so I pulled it out and plugged it in over there on the kitchen counter, just because there was a plug there. And then I turned it on, and the weird thing was, you can see there's like a bunch of bubbles in there, or lava bubbles or whatever. Like it would start off, it'd be like a whole pile of little lava bubbles, and then like next thing you know, it'd be like eight bigger one, or bigger type bubbles, and then it'd be like four, and then like three. I think it got down to two, but that was like after leaving it on for like 3 days, maybe something like that. So, but then when it did that, it had like weird things all the way at the very top of it. And like whenever I turned it off, and actually, I don't even think I turned it off. I just kind of shook it. They like went down into suspension and like clouded the water up like real bad. So like you couldn't even really see the lava in the water. It was weird. And then so I turned it off and let it sit there for like a day or maybe 2 days or something like that with it off. And then I just turned it back on yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Heck yeah, man. If a lava lamp means you want to party, then heck yeah, that's me. I think I had more than one back in the day. I can't remember. We had all that crap, man. Like right out of high school, like we'd get our paycheck and like go to like Spencer's and buy like all kind of like one of those. Well, we all had like multiple black lights. I think I've got like 3 or 4 black lights. Because we always had like a ton of black lights. Like we would just light up an entire room with like nothing but black lights, like one on each wall. But oh yeah, but the like goofy blacklight posters where like they look one way and then you turn the blacklight on and like stuff comes out of them and stuff. Yeah, we had all that stuff. They had 3 of them. Yeah, it was one of those things that I just left at my parents' house. And then one time while I was visiting, I was like, you know what, I want that down there with me. So I'd grab it. Funny enough, one thing I've never grabbed my diploma. It's still at my parents' house. That's funny. I've never had to present my diploma to anybody. Nobody's ever asked. Like even on like a questionnaire, not a resume, but like application, I guess. They'll ask you like, did you graduate high school? Yes. Nobody ever checks. What's up, Loki? Yep. Yeah, we had all that stuff, man. Oh yeah, like I didn't have it, but like most of my friends had that psychedelic mushroom poster. There were a pile of them, and then like if you got into the Grateful Dead, there was like a whole pile of those that you could get too, and because like Spencer's, they would just have like generic ones. At least back in the day, I haven't been to a Spencer's. Jeez, a man, since at least. Yeah, I would go ahead and say like I haven't been to a Spencer's since at least '99, so it's 20 years, maybe even longer. What's up, Gage? I don't know. Are they all gone? I haven't been to a mall since the '90s. Like the last like mall I went to Like it turns out it was just a strip mall. It was like what? You got a Best Buy attached to like Office Depot attached to like a grocery store, and that's a mall? That's not a mall. It's like a strip mall, man. I don't know. The malls that we all went to, like, there would always be. I don't want to tell that story, but they were always like you go into the doors of the mall and like you're in there and it's just like a pile of shops inside, like an entire enclosure type thing. There you go. So Spencer's did not go away. Nice. Can't remember what my most amount of peppers I have. Oh no, I guess that was, yeah, towards the end of the season last year. I think that was my biggest one because I went out there and I just started picking. And I filled up. I had like a hoodie on, so I filled up the pockets of both pockets of the hoodie, and then what was I wearing? I want to say I was wearing like cargo pants or something, and I filled up the side pocket. Or no. I was wearing baggy jeans, like big baggy jeans, and I filled up the back pockets of the baggy jeans. And then I think I had two handfuls, but that's the most I've ever had. But I've always had like not a lot of plants too, so sounds like the cold is coming back. I hope not. I hate the cold. Well, the door's open. The AC's set to 78 and it keeps turning on. Like it's on right now. Let's see what the weather app says the temp is. It's always wrong, but we'll just humor ourselves. Oh no way! They say light rain. Sweet. I like 11, so that is what I'm hearing is the rain coming in. No, they say we're 73 right now. And why is my AC coming on at 78? Too much hot air in this room or whatever. Dang it. That'll be the first time it rained since the hurricane. Man, that throws me off every single time I see that. Small flat rate box. I know that acronym, but if somebody says it, I'm always thinking of the acronym, but I just, when people put that in there, I'm always like, I have no idea what the heck that is. Every single time. Charles wants cooler temps. I'm fine with where they're at right now. So I just wanted to, well, I don't care. Yeah, screw it. It hasn't rained in a month, so go for it. That'll be fine. Did I get my roof fixed? Yep. Yep. Not like completely or anything, but good enough for right now, that's for sure. But now, like, well, that's technically fixed. It's papered in, but now all the shingles have to come off the entire roof and just redone. So that's next. I guess I can't do that if it's raining. It said it's supposed to rain at 7 in the morning too. Let's see. Let's see the acronyms there, Charles. Small, medium, and large. See, now that I know the acronym, now it's like, oh, okay. And RIP G Plus, man. Miss that place. Gotcha, Paula. Through. What do you mean, Dave? What's the difference between DWC and RDWC? What the heck is R? Because DWC is deep water culture. Oh, recirculating. One stands stagnant pretty much while the other one recirculates. Or wait, no. No, I guess you'd be like recirculating it with air, because deep water culture, you can add air to it, but if you don't add air to it, then it's just cracky. But recirculating, I don't know. That's the way I'd want to go, actually. So if I build another one, I'd definitely do that. Well, I guess technically I have a recirculating deep water culture bed. I have two in the aquaponics, because I've got the two beds, and the water, it has a water intake and just a standpipe in there that it overflows and goes back to the fish tank. So it's constantly turning over the water in there. So I guess technically I already have one. What's up, Laura? Oh, you know I'll be around somewhere, Laura. I'm always around. Wait, who? What is CB Greenhouse? Did that just get away from me? Yeah, but I guess that's, yeah. So I guess that's what it means, right? Recirculating. I mean, I got water coming in, water going out. That's deep water culture with lots of air. Fans still working? Yeah, I guess that's true. That's how I was doing my hydroponic peppers. because they were just in like a big storage bin with holes cut in the top. Put the cups right into it. The water level was in there, air stones. The water didn't go anywhere. It just kind of sat there, and the air moved around the water a little bit, aerated it, kind of like gave it a mist at the bottom for the root zones and stuff. Yeah, I like like real deep water culture. I like that. That works really good for me. But cracky, nah. I've had limited success with cracky, and usually not that good. I guess if I was doing the dump and refill method like every so often, I guess I would have better success. But I don't like that. I do the deep water culture. I fill my bins up to like the bottom of the cups, and I don't add water until I guess it needs it, where it's like down to like this much. But even then, I think you shock them if you like fill it up too much. So you got to only go a little bit at a time. Yeah. Well, if you're gonna try deep water culture, just get those bins like at the local box store. Like they're black with the yellow lids. Like they're really really strong, and they make them like small, medium, large, extra large, and in a size so big it could be a fish tank for you. There's one there. It's gigantic. I think it's only like $50 or something, which is kind of cheap when you're thinking about a fish tank. Nice. I've never had good luck growing tomatillos. I've had them grow and then a storm would take them out or whatever. I just never actually had some forming on the plant. They say they're just as easy as tomatoes to grow, but I've tried them so many times. I've had a bunch of seeds, tried growing them from seed, and then I was like, heck with this, man. I'll just go to the store and buy the plant. And that way I can't fail. Buy the plant, take it home, kill it. Yeah. Well, yeah, water levels are an issue with cracky or with deep water culture. Although I guess if it was going down so much per week or whatever, you probably break it down to per day and just add like say a gallon per day or something like that to like try to make it go up just a little bit, and it would like ease them into it. It might work. Mix up some solution, dump it in there. Well, the only thing it was a I don't think it was really a water level issue that I was having with cracky. I was just getting dead roots. I don't know what the hell was happening because everything was going good and it was growing in like double cup method. And then I would take it out and put it into cracky, and then it would just like it like would just slow down. And then you like pull it out and check it out, and the roots wouldn't be white and beautiful. They would just be like starting to gray or brown. But you add an air stone to it, and boom, they're right back to white. It's the funniest thing. So I don't know. Maybe I just got really crappy water with. It's water with not enough O. I don't know. H1O. Oh. I'm gonna go fire up one of those deep water culture beds. And the good thing about for my aquaponic garden, I got the giant commercial air pump. Um, but before that, I had like a whole pile of those little crappy ones that you buy at a pet store or like Walmart or whatever with the two outlets on it. And but the good thing is because I had so many of those crappy ones because they were so cheap, I have a whole pile of them. So I for like experiments and stuff. What are you watching on your PlayStation, Charles? I did that. All right. So, what is this? 1 hour. Hmm. I don't know. I'd have to look at them. They have bubblers, like just sticking out of the water, where they would just like bubble. No, yeah, you should, that would you were talking be yeah. Okay, you're talking about like aerators or air stones or stuff like that. That would. I was thinking of I guess the emitters, like the not bubble drip emitters. Damn it. Um, you're out, Charles. Take it easy. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the Arrow Gardens. I can't remember. I think they're like I want to. I can't remember exactly because I've never got like an official word on what they look like inside. But I think they're just an air stone in there. So I guess technically that would be like deep water culture. But I don't think the idea is like the. I think it's to like make mist, like in the like on top of the water, and then the mist goes to the roots and stuff. And I think that's why they're supposed to work and why it's called Arrow. I could be wrong about that because maybe they have little mini sprayers underneath there. I did that one year. We just get like little. What were they? No, they were like 180 sprayers. You just like drill a hole into your funny pipe and just screw them right in. Then I ran them in a bunch of buckets parallel to each other. Like that's pretty funny. It was all one big piece of pipe. Just drilled a hole in the bucket, like on both sides, the whole way down the line. Just fished the line right through. And once the line was in, I drilled a hole for the emitter. Older ones don't have sprayers. I don't know. I don't know what any of them have. I never really got an answer about like exactly what it looks like. I just want to see a picture. If I see a picture, I can duplicate it. I thought about making a giant Arrow garden, like get one of the big totes, the big like 27-gallon totes, and using that as the Arrow garden. But maybe it would be better to do it with a smaller version. I think one of their things is like dumping all your nutrients, all your nutrient water. Where I like to like stretch it out more. if you had to add an air stone to your arrow garden, then that must mean the older ones don't have an arrow or air stone. I don't know. I've never messed around with one. Everybody kept talking about how great they were, and I was like, I wasn't like one of the first people to run towards it. I was the one standing back. Plus, it wasn't like $65 for like a little tiny one. I forget. There's some kind of price reason I didn't want to buy one because I can always just make one as long as I know what the heck I need. The light's easy enough. Nice. Where does it circulate the water to? Because if it just like circulates the water like inside to like move it around, and or does it pump it to something, or like do they pump it to the roots of each plant, or on the top of the tray? So what? It like goes around the top of the tray, finds the low point, which would be where each of the cups are, and then just falls down there and like kind of like hits the roots as it falls back to the reservoir. Because that's. I was thinking of the lid design of one of those totes. I was going to say that's pretty easy, but no, you could still do it. So there's like so there was a layer, and then there's a top to it. So the water pumps it to like that middle layer, and it does the exact same thing that I was saying. Gotcha. Oh, I could do that. That's pretty easy. What's up, Derek? I, I don't know. I don't think so. Nice. Yes, making some tomorrow. Yeah, definitely make a video, JDS. 5-gallon cat litter buckets, aren't those the square ones? Because I don't know why, but I like those so much better than the just regular round 5-gallon buckets. Probably because you can like fit them closer together and stuff like that. Nice. Yeah, I don't have a cat though, so I don't have the 5-gallon kitty litter buckets, but that'd be awesome if I did. Way back in the day when I was doing pools, man, I had like 5-gallon bucket chlorine buckets and 100-pound buckets, which were like double the size. And I had so many, I was throwing them away like in big, huge stacks. Like I would have like, I don't know, 20, 30 at a time, and I just throw them right into the dumpster. But if I'd have known that I wanted to needed so many buckets, I would have just saved them all, because all you got to do is like put them out in your yard and like just let them fill up with rainwater. When they get full of water, if they turn green, there's no more chlorine in that. If you get any algae growing, there's no chlorine. All right. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Derek, but okay. What JDS? You got the plastic shot cups, like the little tiny things? I don't have a shot glass around here. Do somewhere in the kitchen. But like those ones, but the little plastic ones, they look like the party cups, but smaller. Those little suckers. That's crazy. I've never bought them. I've never wanted to buy them either. I just wanted the bigger cups because they're gonna get big soon. I just didn't want to transplant them. Get lazy. Actually, usually what I would do is put a bunch of seeds in one cup though. So I just like have one, like we'll just say Reaper cup, and then like I would plant like 5 seeds within it, and then put a plastic bag over top of it. Yeah, I'd totally be doing that with the buckets too. Especially the hole saw I've got, which is a little bit too big for a 3-inch neck cup, but it's perfect for a red party cup. All right. Oh man. Uh, gotcha. I was back to the plastic shot glasses. I mean the buckets. Yeah, that would make good planters. Just drill some holes in them, or maybe just the bottom of it. So if they're sitting directly on like grass or whatever, then if the ground's kind of saturated, it'll hold the water in the pot. Usually it doesn't work like that. It's usually too damn hot. Oh, nice. No, I thought I had a Gatorade bottle. That's pretty cool. So they fit perfect in there, right into the neck of the Gatorade bottle. Use the AC, turn it off. Oh man, 4 more minutes. Better start raining within 4 minutes, or I'm gonna be mad at this weather app. Oh, this dog is hardcore puppy dreaming right now. She's like kicking the couch cushion. I always want her to like encourage her to like do it more and like all kind of stuff. But every time I like try to encourage her, she wakes up and like looks around like, what the heck are you looking at? All right, later, Dave. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's just what I want to do. Like that's why I'm so antsy to just start some new plans. Is I just have all kind of like just goofy experiments I want to try. Try doing some stuff with this and try doing it this way and adding air, not adding air, or recirculating. Like I already have another idea. Just like taking the tub, putting the air stone in it, of course, putting your plants in there, but then also taking a water pump and putting that in there too. Well, I got a bunch of different ideas for that, but one of them is you take each one of your totes and just drill a hole in the bottom towards like at the very bottom, and then interconnect it with all the other totes. That way, like that, all the levels will stay at the same level, and then have I don't know. We'll just say in the center of the center would probably be the best way instead of trying to have everything come back to one side. But in the center, have the pump, and then out of there have individual lines that run to each individual cup in the entire system. That way, like when needed, you could like just have it on a timer. So like 15 minutes on, I don't know, 6 hours off or something like that. And then like you could do that, and then especially when you first get going, because once you get an established plant in one of those deep water culture beds, the roots just take off and you get a strong, strong plant. But when they're getting going, this one's drinking more than this one, and then the water level gets just slightly low, and then you can't get the roots to grow into the water because it doesn't even know the water's there, and it becomes a pain in the butt. But if you just take a cup of water and just pour it in the top every once in a while until it establishes roots into the water, then now you got a good good plan, I guess. But I don't know, just be like a good thing to use like right up on startup when you first take your plants out there and the roots are just barely coming out of the cup and stuff like that. I guess you could just do, yeah, well, I guess it depends on how big of a piece of pipe you use. But if you use like a big enough piece of pipe, you could have it come off the pump and just go the length of the entire system and then cap it off at the end. And then you could have just fittings in there where you could just go to each individual cup that would actually need it. Because sometimes you get some nice roots on some that they don't even need help. And then other times that roots just barely sticking out. Hmm. That's pretty cool. I haven't caught any of Garber's videos. Did he make any videos this year? Because I know like he didn't for a while, and then he did, and then I don't know if he made any. I missed them. I know he would make like a random one or two videos every once in a while. I think the last thing I saw that he made was like his hydroponic trash can thing that he was growing in, that gigantic like 55-gallon trash can. He turned into like it was hydroponic, but what the heck was it? Cracky, I think. Yeah, I don't think he had it there. Oh, okay. Good. I didn't miss any of his videos then. Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen any of his videos for quite a while. Somebody's awake. And back out. Joys of puppies. By puppy, I mean really old dog. So what other kind of experiments would you like to try? I've done a ton of experiments. The biggest disappointment one was the aeroponic garden. I don't know, maybe the hydro tube was worse. I don't think I did the hydro tube the right way. Nice. That's a lot of roots. Rain gutter hydro. I did that with aquaponics, and it was a bad idea. Hey, maybe it'll be better for you. But I did. I had a ton of strawberries in there too. I pretty much just had a gutter, and then a small standpipe. Well, I'd put a threaded fitting in there. Or I guess I put it in the other way, and it doesn't matter. Either way would work because I had a female fitting on the other side. But I would make like a mini standpipe so that the water level would stay at whatever I wanted. And I'd have the water pumping in on one side. So it would go all the way through a gravel bed because I used pea gravel in it. And that was like before I had like all of my aquaponic gardens. But I had extra pea gravel. So I filled up, I think, 2 rain gutters. So it went all the way down the fence. I put it right up on the fence too, or on the, I guess you could call it a fence, but it was the side of the deck, just so I would have things to screw into and everything. And I had it like start at one side, went all the way to the end of the thing, and then I had another one underneath there that went all the way back, and then a drain line going right back to my fish tank. I tried that, but that wasn't that great of an idea. But to be perfectly honest, a lot of that's my fault because there's a lot of different. I should have used more rock. I should have had the water level a little bit lower. I think that would have solved most of it. Next. No, there was another problem. It was the weight of the gravel in the thing. But instead of using gravel, if you just used a gutter and then you put like something on the top of it and then drilled your holes in the whatever that was and then put your cups like into that might work a lot better. Because like my recirculating deep water culture bed, that's pretty much all I did. I just took a concrete mixing tray and then drilled a hole in it for my drain, drilled a hole in it with my for a drain. Then I put my fitting in there, put a standpipe, and then a drain going back to the fish tank. And then I just had the water coming in. I put a piece of plywood over the top that had holes drilled in it for all the cups that were in it. So then you just put your cups right in there, and the way it or the standpipe was at the perfect level that when you put it in there, the cups will just touch the water. That took a little work to get that done, but I don't know who Mike Van Doozy is. Never heard of that guy. But yeah, I did the gutter one. What else did I do? The hydro tube. It's kind of like a gutter, except you're just using pipe instead. It's kind of a little easier, but it's a lot more expensive too. Sorry, Pedro. But the cool thing about the using PVC pipe is they make hangers for it. It's already rated to have water in the pipe. You could say the same thing about the rain gutters, but they're not that great at hangers. But the hangers that they have for like pipe, I forget what I had, like 5-inch pipe, 4-inch pipe, something like that. Those are like some heavy duty freaking hangers. Which I didn't even use them all. I think I only used 2 per 8-foot piece of pipe. 8-foot, 10-foot. Must have been 8-foot. Yeah. Yeah, you would have to put the bigger roots towards the end, but you also, if there's a lot of root mass, you also still face like a blockage. So that they could like grow big enough where they just block out the water or block the water from getting out, and it'll just drain out of the system, like out of one of the cups or something instead after it backs up. So you got to be careful. Like once they get to a certain size, you might just want to just take them out of that system altogether. Or, I mean, well, that would be after like you could just keep. I don't know, like man, I haven't seen her in like forever, but way back in the day, remember Pepper Girl? She used to take her hair ties and she would put them like when she was doing double cup method and the hair ties, she would just keep moving her hair tie down on the inside cup and it would like keep it, a bigger and bigger reservoir inside the, outside cup. But you could do the same thing with that in the pipe and just keep raising the cup out of the pipe more and more until you get to a certain point. But by that point, the roots are going to get big enough where you could start clogging it up. But yeah, you would want it at the end because that would be the better of all the scenarios. Because even if it does clog it up, then it would clog it up to the ones with the smaller roots. And instead of being like one of the first ones in line where it just clogs it up and just dumps it right back out of the system and none of them get water. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and also that would be something I would want to mess around with, like doing the hydro tube, but doing different angles. Like, what if you are, I don't know, we'll just say slightly off of level versus like more off of level or like, kind of extreme angles. And if you could do extreme angles, how do you ensure that the water like hits the bottom of each cup on the way down? Because that would be kind of like one of those, what do they call them? Like, are they strawberry towers? Guess so. But with those ones, they have like those indentations all throughout it. So they're like all staggered too. Because you just go in and like cut a slit and then use a heat gun to like push in the plastic So you have like inside the pipe, you have a bunch of these little things like that. So the water would be coming off and like just about hitting the roots, but then hitting the other thing, staggering and stuff. Not to mention all the water doesn't follow the exact same path anyway. So I guess at the top you could have some kind of like diffuser type thing where you can like have, I don't know, kind of like a little bowl or a tray or something like that with holes cut in it where you want the water to start. So it'd start going one way and then make it all over the place. So you could have it like going like 8 different places, and it would all like, I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know. I have to screw around with them. I never made one of those things though. I wonder if I have any of that pipe. Yeah, I've never done a strawberry tower though. That would be something fun to do, especially because I've got a whole pile of strawberries outside. All I have to do is dig them up, put them in the system. Has anybody else done one of the strawberry towers? Because the way it always looks like to me was they just had like the tower, and on the top they just had a cap that they put on, drilled a hole in the center, and put a water inlet so that the water would start and go drain all the way to the bottom, and then drill a hole through the 2 sides for something to hang it from. And lettuce would be a good one to start with, and something like that. When I first started with aquaponics, that's what I started with was strawberries, lettuce. What else did I have? Tomatoes going? No. I know I had a pile of habaneros. I think I had like 20 or something like that within an 18 inches by 18 inches area. I got a pile of jalapenos. Yeah, basil's always good. Any of the herbs are always good, especially as stuff you don't want to like get away on you, like mint or like even rosemary. Rosemary, I got a giant rosemary plant outside, and no, no, I think that was a plant. I was gonna say I thought that was a cutting that I made and then rooted it, but no, I think that was a plant. But I did root a bunch of rosemary. They do not like it when you freeze their roots. That's how I killed them all. What's up, Sheller? What are you up to? If I can hear this and there if anybody wants to hop on. That's weird. Anybody else type stuff in the chat and it takes forever to pop up on StreamYard. But I typed something into the chat and boom, and like immediately it came up on there. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Out of milk crates. I can't play. I've got a heat gun. I've got a sawzall. I've got a skill saw. I've got extra pipe laying around. Like and I think an extra pump laying around. Like everything that you would need to make a strawberry tower, and I've never made one. the heck's up with that? That's weird. Yeah. Well, I read your comment fast because I also have YouTube open too. Because sometimes StreamYard screw us up and doesn't like actually put in the chat. It's kind of like PlayStation. PlayStation will do the same thing. If you're like live streaming a game, like some of the chat just doesn't pop up. And it's pretty weird because you'll be playing for a little bit and you're like, man, the chat hasn't said anything. And I usually have it over here anyway, and I'll be playing over here and I'll look over. I'm like, holy heck, where did all these freaking chats come from? Wait, Schiller's got tequila. Dang, is he sharing? Actually, I don't want tequila. I just want a margarita. Hey, the rain's late. He said 11. Or wait, actually, it said it was raining before. It says it's raining now. $73, and yet 11 o'clock on their app says 72, but yet it's 73 at 11:19. See, I'm gonna have to. Maybe I won't edit that video. I was gonna say now I gotta edit that video, and maybe I won't. See if I can catch them picking up the rest of this stuff. I'd hate to like go through all editing, get it all ready, upload it, like make it live and all that stuff, and then like the next day they come and show up to pick up the rest of that stuff. Nah, I guess it doesn't matter. Still trying to figure out how to use my freaking drone. Can't get the dang thing to like do any video. You gotta like hook it up to your phone and make it record from your phone. But this stupid thing won't connect to my phone. So I'll have to look into that. That's why I pulled out my second phone. I was like, heck with that. I'll just use this sucker and I'll connect with this phone because that's good enough. I don't think it needs that good of a connection. And then use my old phone. That way I don't have to like jump off the network on my phone. But oh well. What's up, Mark? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I still have not done any pepper infused any kind of liquor. I will, just haven't. Never really had like an extra bottle of liquor sitting around. Well, I say that I got an extra bottle of liquor sitting. Got, yeah, full one and a half of one. So what's everybody's temperature at right now? Mine says 73. It's probably a little warmer than that. But it was nice and hot today. Like, I don't remember if I looked at the thermometer today. I don't know. It was over 80, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I was just thinking. Like, I guess all I would need is like one pod and put it into a small, like 750 milliliter bottle or whatever. And that should be good enough. I think I saw everybody else doing like one pod in a giant bottle. Like, was that 1 gallon or a gallon and a half or whatever? Dang, 58. I was 72. Dang, your high is like our low, like right now. That's what I was figuring. I know most people would probably want to like do 2, 3, 4, and like a, I guess 750, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not the biggest tequila fan, so I'd go with vodka, but I'd pick Taka because that stuff's great. But what pepper would go good with it? Hmm. I guess it all depended on like were you going for heat or were you going for just flavor? Because I guess flavor, I don't know. Maybe you'd want to do multiple different ahis, like one ahi lemon, one like sugar rush, one ahi mango kind of thing. Yeah, I would not be putting five reapers in a fifth. Heck with that. Unless like it was just like some parlor, I don't want to say parlor trick, but like someone getting something over where they'll just like, oh yeah, it's five reapers and cut them in half and throw them into the bottle. Like it's like a week later. Meanwhile, it's like 5 seconds later and pour themselves a shot. And hopefully a lot of the oil didn't mix with it because the longer you keep it in there, the more it extracts out of the pods. Because everybody I watched that had any kind of liquor infused with peppers, the peppers would like just slowly get lighter and lighter and lighter until they're like practically white. And then I think they just break up and like dissolve into like the whole liquor. Jeez, oh man. Dang, man, everybody's cold. It's supposed to snow at Mark's house. Jeez, oh man. Mark Marky and Dave are both going to get snow. Yep. Well, yeah, you said one Reaper. Well, according to like the Guinness Book of World Records, like apparently like a Reaper would be hotter than a 7-pot, but that's the whole idea behind a 7-pot is it's hot enough that you can make 7 pots of spicy food with one pepper. It's a one Reaper and one batch of chili. Ouch. If that scale's correct, I think a 7-pot's probably hotter than a Reaper. Depending on who grew it, depending on what the weather was like, all that. What do they call it? Disclaimer. Not valid in most states. Check your local laws and ordinances. No, state and local laws. A cool pepper decanter? Let's see if I go this way. Yeah, I am subscribed. What the hell? All right, I'll have to check that out. I've been missing a lot of videos lately. I don't know what the heck's going on. But I don't know. Maybe it's tied to the notifications because those things been all over the place too. Yeah, man. Any of the ahi, ahis would be good for tequila. I think they'd be good for like a vodka too. Ew, there you go. What would be good with a whiskey? And when I started saying that, I was only thinking of like Jack Daniels. But then my mind went to Jim Beam, and then I was going off to like actual good whiskeys, and then wait, didn't the pepper infused alcohol that Kang made, wasn't that whiskey? Or was it bourbon? I don't know. I didn't expect him to be like a whiskey or a bourbon guy, and I'm pretty sure that's what he did his in. Because I expected like tequila or vodka or I don't know, not like one of the dark liquors. Ghost with whiskey. I don't know. I wonder if it would taste or change the taste of whiskey just a little bit to where I would be like, whiskey's not bad. Most of the time I do whiskey, it's like, oh. Because it's almost always somebody that wants to buy you a shot. You're like, oh yeah, like here, we'll do a shot of whiskey. Like, oh, great. I like the clear ones a lot better. I don't think there is. I was just trying to go through all the liquors in my head. I don't think there is a pepper that would make gin taste good. Gin tastes horrible. Tastes like you're trying to like drink sap from a pine tree or something. Old Grand? Is that Old Granddad? I used to drink that stuff, man. That stuff was pretty messed up. It was can't remember exactly what it was. Like Old Granddad 110 proof? Is it 120? No, I think it was 110. So I guess that's like what, 55% alcohol. Whatever it was, holy crap. Those are the stories I'd tell about. Like, I had a job where every Monday the boss would have me run to the distributor, because you buy it. Well, I don't know where you buy beer in Pennsylvania anymore, but you had to buy it at a distributor at the time, and you had to buy liquor at the state store. So before the state store closed, he would have me leave, run over and buy a 30-pack of Budweiser from the distributor, run to the liquor store, get a fifth. Maybe you got the big bottle. No, I think it was only a fifth, which is weird because that's only so many shots, and he would share that stuff. Maybe it was the big bottle of Old Granddad. Then I'd come back and he would like give us all a beer, and he'd give us all a coffee cup with some Old Granddad in there. It was like every Monday I'd be leaving like half tipsy, like, geez, oh man, that stuff's strong. And that was like an hour and a half before we were done working. So like you drink that stuff, you're like, holy crap. And then like for like the next hour and a half, you're still working and shutting everything down. Work page, yeah. When I read, I'm gonna pull the rest of my tomatoes and peppers, I assume you just mean the pods. Just leave the plants go for a little bit, because you never know, it might just warm up and they could take off again. I've seen that happen here, at least, where I'm thinking like, that's about it. And next thing I know, like late October, it starts not being that cold. It just warms up, and then all of a sudden, like, what the heck? Juniper. Uh, let's look. You. That's Saskatchewan. That's right up there. Isn't that the prairies too? Just like Manitoba? I know Manitoba is the prairies, at least the southern part. That's funny because, well, I mean, I was obviously of age. Jeez, man, I think I was like 30, 30. No, I guess I was like 32, 33, something like that. Yeah, maybe even a little older. But same thing. We were doing a roof actually. We did a bunch of roofs because a guy had like a giant garage. He had like a house. I think something else there too, but I know we did those two. And like when we would get done, he'd be like, look, I just wanted to show you something. And we'd all like go into his garage, and he had like all kind of stuff everywhere, like all kind of cool stuff. And he would just pull out some random stuff. Like, did you ever see something like this before? But in all of that stuff, he would, I don't know what the heck kind of stuff it was, but it was, I think it was brandy. Or nah, maybe it was bourbon. I can't remember. It was something that I was not used to drinking. And I remember thinking, like, dang, this stuff is great. He ended up giving me a bottle of it. And then I think I ended up buying a bottle of it. But that stuff was pretty good. I forget what it was, but yeah, like that would keep you warm. Because it was cold, man. Like it was below freezing here, which is like crazy cold. And yeah, no, you do like just a shot of it, whatever the heck it was, just one shot, and that's all you needed. Like you were nice and toasty. And the best part was like the dude I was working with was driving, so I didn't even have to worry about that. I was like, give me another shot. But yeah, after being outside on a roof with wind and everything all day with below freezing temperatures, then you step out of the wind for a little bit. I think it was heated in there too. And then he pulls out a bottle. Holy crap, man. No, I guess the garage wasn't heated. Why would it be? I just remember, I know he had power in there because he had like a TV or something and I think a radio. You got to have a radio when you got a garage, right? Isn't that a rule? Heck, I don't even listen to the radio. I got a radio in my garage. Nice. Well, the green tomatoes, if you bring them in, what the trick? I've heard so many different tricks. Pretty much, like if you put it around other fruit that's ripened, it'll ripen faster. But there's another trick, like what is it? Like you put it in a paper bag with a banana, with a ripened banana, and that'll like ripe them up. I think like overnight or like within 2 days or something like that. And um, but not only that, but that'll that and the weather and the light and all that stuff will also force the plant into like survival mode where it's going to be trying to put off as much, what do you want to call it, family descendants, what seed as possible. And by putting out seed, it's got to like have fruit. So you win. Oh, damn. Snow already up there? Staring at a map. Because Manitoba's not that far from the Upper Peninsula. Dang, I didn't know that. Detroit is like below Minnesota. Kind of even with the bottom of South Dakota almost. What's up, Graham? How you doing? What's up, Anti? How you doing? It'll kick in soon. Oh man, why do these things keep going empty? Dang it. Man. 2 hours in. Here. Nice. Cram's becoming a den leader. Was my No, I think that was one of the things I did as a kid that my parents weren't like one of the like leaders of. Like, they were like assistant coach for soccer and all that other crap. So I'm doing just fine, Anta. How are you doing? I'm pretty sure you saw what I was doing there last night, Anta, where I was just messing with Chris. He did seem to get a little upset about that, so I kind of stopped doing it, but I was just messing with him. And he's like one of the only people that would just be like, fuck you, like just start going off on me. Like, I could pick that up, and I thought it was funny, so I just went with it. I thought it was too funny to not pass up. And I didn't expect you to actually put him backstage. I thought that was pretty funny too. That was great. Probably not the nicest thing I've done all week, but eh. And it seemed to bother him more and more that I wouldn't get on live stream. I was having so much fun last night. What kind of seeds did you pop there, Graham? They some peppers or just anything? Lettuce and broccoli and wait, aren't you in? Yeah, you're in Washington. You could grow that special stuff if you wanted to. Yeah, I want to pop, throw some seeds in the ground, man. Get them to pop. I want to do that like right now. I just know that I don't want an indoor garden. I just want to be ready for next year. And this is like the wrong time to be doing that. Like, I remember what Susie went through. She did hers in November, like the beginning of November. And like hers were way too big on her. But as a general rule, like with peppers, like I don't even start until February. Usually I go with like February 1st. Go ahead and throw the seeds in the dirt and, let them go. See how big they get before I can take them out. Oh, nice. You're growing 3 sisters. So what would that be? Corn, squash, and beans. Some pole beans to grow up the corn as a trellis. The corn to put nitrogen back in. The beans to take nitrogen out. The beans to put nitrogen back in. And the squash as a cover crop to prevent weeds from popping up. I don't know. January 1st. I can get my stuff out like ideally middle of April. And February is usually like good enough to start. If I started, I've done it before, like, hey, New Year's, all right, it's over, let's plant seeds. Like, I've done that before, and I don't know. They seem to be like the same amount of progress by the time I take them out. You're going to be overwintering peppers. Well, there's two ways of thinking about overwintering peppers. Is there's, I guess I'll just call it the Kang Star method and the Charles P method. And we'll just start with the Charles method because sometimes that's the best advice that you could ever get is never overwinter anything. Like never bring anything that was outside inside because you're bringing all those pests in with you, which is very good advice because I've heard a lot of people that were like, no, 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 everything's good. And then next thing you know, I got an aphid infection, infestation in like my entire grow room. Or you could do like the Kang Star method, which is like trim everything back, like trim it all back like a lot. And then like wash down everything, like wash down all the soil off the roots and everything, completely like clean it out, put brand new soil in there. But the growth and wash down the plant, make sure you get any kind of bug that would be on there off of there, especially any kind of aphids or probably your new soil is going to come with like some what the hell am I thinking of? Fungus gnats. A lot of them, a lot of that comes with the soil. When you water it, then next thing you know, the fungus gnats come alive. The eggs get like hydrated and come alive. No, that was it. So just you cut everything back real good and then wash it off really, really good and make sure you take care of your soil so that you don't have anything like hiding out in your soil already. So you could go to either method if you wanted to, but personally, unless you have to, like if you really have to for some reason, then go for like the Kang Star method. But otherwise, I would just lean towards Charles. Just don't do it. I'm trying to do the JT Bear method. Pretty sure that's how he got all his aphids in the first place, though. Bring them in. It still reminds me of that one comment. Um, I think it was Blumberg made that comment of somebody posted a picture of aphids and he put on there like JT Bear, some of your livestock got loose on my land. That was great. That was like one of my all-time favorite comments on any kind of post. You can't put anything out until after Mother's Day or until Mother's Day, like the first week of May or something like that. That's like about the same time as me, or I could do it a couple weeks earlier. But one other thing I've found is like when they're growing indoors, they grow at a specific rate. Like sometimes when they're smaller, they don't grow as fast as when they're like a lot bigger, but they only grow at such a rate. But the second you get those suckers outside, they just go nuts and just start taking off. Because I remember, I guess it was last year, I put out some plants and they were taken for, I mean, they were only like this big, but they were like 5 months old. And then next thing you know, they were like double the size in like 2 weeks or something like that. um, yeah, I've heard of the soil in the freezer and then like put it in the oven and or do one or the other or both or um yeah, I can't remember. I know I did the freezer method, and that didn't do anything. The one thing that I've found, like specifically with like fungus gnats, when you have soil with fungus gnats in them, if you top water, that's normally like wetting the soil enough, and the fungus gnats like towards the top will come out. But if you only ever water from the bottom, like I'll water like extra from the bottom for the first time and put the cup on there, and as the water seeps into the soil from the bottom, the cup will just fall down into the bottom, the reservoir cup, and become seeded. But I'll only put enough water to like keep it from like, that far from the top. And then whenever I transplant, usually they're kind of leggy, so I put them kind of deep in the soil so that the roots will have hit that water zone, so that they can actually like get nutrient. Well, I always water with Master Blend, so nutrients, put water and stuff, so that way they can actually like take off. And that way the top, I don't know, like inch and a half of the soil, something like that, never has water. That way, I don't know. I haven't had fungus gnats in a couple years by doing that. Yeah, I want to say last year. No, maybe I did top water last year. I know I didn't top water at all this year. And I did that specifically because I let a lot of the plants get leggy. And so I would plant them extra deep in the soil, and that would allow me to only put the water level up to a certain amount and never at the top. What do we got here? It is going to attempt to overwinter lemon, ahi lemon, because yeah. Well, yeah, when they get those big, huge tree trunks on there, you always want to like take them inside. Yeah, JT. I should have JT on here sometime soon. We were supposed to go live, 2 Fridays ago? But I was late getting a start, and he was real tired from work, so he ended up going to bed. But we'll have him on here sometime soon, maybe this Friday. Oh, it's weird. Hearing the AC turn on with windows and doors open. You can hear the outdoor unit. Yeah, I don't think you have to keep trimming it though. You could just trim it one time, bring it inside, and just let it go. And you don't have to pinch off the flowers either. You can let it go ahead. And actually, that might be even better for you for keeping it small. Just leave the flowers on there, because if it's putting all of its energy into forming the pods, it won't put all of its energy into trying to get to be like a giant shrub or a giant tree or whatever. So it might be a better idea to just let the flowers go, self-pollinate them, like make sure that they actually start forming pods. And that way it'll focus more energy into that and not into, getting gigantic. So that might be a good tip for you. See if anybody disagrees. Sand on the top will work. Also, even better than sand on the top is like, I forget how big of a layer they said to do. Like, I'm thinking maybe ½ inch. I think a ½ inch would be more than sufficient, but maybe ½ inch or something like that of DE, diatomaceous earth, all over the top, because it's just ground up plankton and or ground up fossilized plankton. But because of the way it's fossilized and stuff like that, then it comes out and it's like a bunch of shards of glass, technically. And aphids are, fungus and aphids are too, but fungus gnats are soft-bodied insects. So when they come out, like all these little shards, like just rip them open and just kill them as they're trying to come out of the soil. So I've heard that, a lot of good stuff about that. But if you just don't water the top of it, I mean, even if you're not doing double cup method, you could always just take like a piece of pipe or whatever and stick it down in there and then put all your dirt and stuff in there. That way, whenever you water, you can put it through the pipe, or straw or whatever you want to say, but it'll go to the bottom and never get the very top wet. That would work. I mean, pretty much kind of like a double bucket method where you got the piece of pipe sticking up and that's where you water into the reservoir. You could do the exact same thing, but it could just be, water in the pipe. You could just fill the pipe to the top. And as it like absorbs into the soil, it'll just go down the pipe into the soil. That would be good. Yeah, and I would be more worried about aphids. I've never had fungus gnats do anything. They're just annoying and they just fly around your face and bug the crap out of you. But yeah, but the sand would be a good idea too, though. Like Rob said, like 1.5 inches of sand. Yeah, and then you could probably water from the top too. Just water and it would like just flow right through the sand. I don't know. It sounds like it would work. But yeah, I would definitely be more worried about aphids. Yeah, the reason they say to take the flowers off when you're doing indoor growing is normally it's like, with me in February, like starting my plants. Well, when they get big enough and they start flowering, that's what happens. They put their energy into the pods. So when you're growing indoors and you want them to get as big as possible before you take them outside, you want to pull all those flowers so that it just keeps on getting bigger and stronger and everything like that. So by the time you take it outside, it can just start going nuts with the sunlight. And of course, once I take mine outside, I don't take the flowers off. I mean, sometimes when they're inside, I won't take the flowers off either. Like when they hit a point when they're like, like 20 inches tall already and they're still indoors, I usually let the flowers stay on there. I'm like, heck with it, go. I hope you actually get a pot off of that. And it slows you down a little bit. But yeah, there's a certain point as big as it would get. I would just go ahead and say, screw it. You can keep your flowers and your pods. Where are we at here? Scheller said I used DE on my aphids problem. I don't think I've ever used DE for aphids. No, I've never used DE for anything actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, which kind of sucks. I used to have like a great supply of that stuff. I was always at the pool store buying that stuff. What are you doing over there? Aw, she's got her little paw and she's like rubbing her snout. Oh, look at, now she's doing both paws. She's doing this thing. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, I'm staring at you. Oh man. Says dollar store trays. What are dollar store trays? And how does that help with humidity? Wait, is it trays that you put water in so it like humidifies? I don't know. Yeah, and well, Paige said 3-in-1 organicide. If it's bad enough, well, probably if it's outside, but if it's bad enough, Charles said he hit it with pyrethrum. Pyrethrum? I don't know. I've never even seen it before. It's not organic. I'm pretty sure about that, but I'm pretty sure it'll kill just about anything. What are butterworts? But I've seen those suckers. Like you go to the box store and you look and you're like, oh, look at that aphid infestation on that plant. Like everything in this whole vicinity is pretty much tainted. Nice, Graham. Got a new puppy dog. Half pit, half mud. It's a mix. Mixed with what? Another pit bull? Oh, gotcha. You're talking about like like the seed starting trays. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. For some reason, when you said trays, I'm just thinking of like cookie sheets or like some sort of metal tray. Hmm. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Pyrethrum made from chrysanthemums. Hmm. Because that's just a plant, isn't it? Butterworth is a carnivorous plant. What do they eat? Like flies and stuff? Is it like because I thought I knew about carnivorous plants because I knew about a Venus flytrap, and then I found out about the pitcher plant. I'm like, what the heck? This plant's eating rats? That's a crazy plant, man. Freaking jeez. Talk about a crazy plant. They have gigantic pitcher type things that can drown a rat, and then they have a smell that attracts them, and they get close and it's slippery and they just fall right in and drown, and then slowly dissolve in this plant. Like breaks down, like decomposes in the plant, and then back to nature. Gross. Ugh, it's like thinking of a snake eating something. Hang on a sec. Wait a second. All right. It's raining now. Doesn't show. Well, I should say raining. It's sprinkling. Yeah. I don't know. DE dissolves really good, but because I mean that's what they use it for, filters. It's the filter media and a DE filter. They just have like this mesh, and you go to the skimmer and you put like 7, 8.5, depending on how big your filter is, pounds of DE into the skimmer, and it just sucks it right down and puts it right onto the like the well, they're fins, but the like mesh, well, mesh fins, I guess, and it coats the entire thing so that when other crap's going through the filter, it gets stuck in there. But I guess because it gets stuck there, I guess that would mean it's a bigger particle, which means it would be harder to get it through like a sprayer or something like that, especially like a misting sprayer. That would probably be like the smaller the misting or spraying, the harder it probably would be to shoot. Oh yeah, there you go. If it rains, apply when they're wet. Or oh, I read that completely opposite. I was thinking if it rains, just apply like right after it's done or something, because then the DE will stick to it. But okay, he's offering the opposite advice. All right, Graham, sounds good. And now it's starting to rain. It's awesome. Actually, Graham, that sounds like a good shoot, what the heck do you call that? Like series, dollar store gardening, and just like only like, or like a playlist even, or a series, or whatever the heck you want to call it, but just put the videos where you have dollar store stuff in that series. That would be good. And you're like, oh, look, here's these trays, here's like these cups, here's like whatever the heck you get at the dollar store, and just put those in videos, which might give you a good reason to have, well, I don't know, I was trying to think of something else, but it might give you a good reason just to have more videos, because then you could just have videos based just on that. So whereas you were going to like do the exact same video of the dollar store stuff, but then add in other stuff, you could just stop and have that as its entire video, and then do the other one. That way you get another video. That would work. I'm always trying to figure out stuff like that. Like how to maximize the amount of videos that you have, whereas not trying to skimp out on, because I like long videos. I really don't care what everybody else on YouTube likes or on the web or whatever, but like personally, I like the longer the video, the more you've got my attention. Like I hate like 2 minute. I mean, unless it's like a video that needs to be 2 minutes, then that's fine. But like I hate when there's something I want to know about and they just make it 2 minutes. I'm like, what? I just watched one, or I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it on purpose. It's one of the car videos that I like, and it's was it Motor Trend, I think, and it was the Ultimate Adventure, which you get like a cheap 4-wheel drive and you soup it up with, like, isn't that the one? Or no, maybe Ultimate Adventure. No, Ultimate Adventure is the one where you like take your best vehicle that you got. But whatever. But they had an entire day recap, and it was like a minute, like 56 seconds. I'm like, there is no way you recapped an entire day in a minute 56. Like, I can't recap an entire day in like 20 minutes.
But hey, what's up, Beth? Yeah, I like the long, and I don't care. Like, especially with my own videos, I don't care if people watch the entire thing. Like, if that's not your thing, then cool. But I love the long videos. But then again, this is my TV. So I always have something playing. Even when I go to sleep, I have stuff playing. I'll turn things on or turn on somebody's playlist, or, I'll do something like that. Or a lot of the times it's just a single video, but because I kind of like having it plays like a 20-minute video, and then by then I'm passed out, and then it doesn't make noise anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I hate that too. Well, that's how you can tell like TV from YouTube though. Like the other day I found it's not a new channel, but I thought it was a new channel after watching a couple videos. I'm like, I've watched this channel before. But it was a channel, and it started off, and I'm like, is this a TV show? Like, I don't want to be watching a TV show, because it started off like that. And it was like 15 minutes into it. I was like, this is definitely not a TV show, because they bought a vehicle. Well, they bought two vehicles. They bought two, how was it? Not a Camaro. I think it was a Trans Am. One with T-tops, one hardtop. The hardtop ran and drove when parked, and then the T-tops didn't have an engine. So they just hauled away the T-tops, and they just spent a couple days working on the one where the engine did work at one time to drive it out of there, which was their goal. But like, it was 15 minutes into it. I'm like, there is no way that this is TV, because they're like focusing way too long on the bed of the truck where all the parts and stuff that they brought are. They are like TV. It's got to be like quick, snippy, like fast and stuff. I don't like that. I love like watching YouTube, because I'm sitting there looking in the bed of his truck. I'm like, there's spark plug wires, there's a tire, like, I'm going through all the parts, like already getting an idea of what they're actually going to be doing to fix this car. Meanwhile, TV would just glance at it and then like, oh, meanwhile over here while we're working on the carburetor, But yeah, that'll work though. Yeah, if you watch them on 1.5 speed. Yep. And well, I watch a ton of different videos. Some of them you have to watch at like half speed, because there's something like action that happens that you miss. So you like put it at half speed and like watch it, or quarter speed. But yeah, if it's like one of my long, boring videos, you can just put it on like 1.5 and get it done in like 2/3 of the time. Yeah, and I don't mind the polished ones. I just like it when they keep it real. When it just becomes too TV like, that's when I don't like it. There's like one YouTube channel that I watch, and it was made for TV though, but now they're just releasing it on YouTube. The people that actually made it, not like the parent company or anything. But they're set up like a TV, and it drives me nuts, because they'll like pretend to go to commercial break, but there's no commercial break. And then they got a recap on like the last 10 minutes that you watched. Here's like a recap of all of that stuff again. Like, geez, oh man, I just watched it, man. Like, I don't need a recap. It's not like you came back from commercial and I'm like, whoa, this show's on. I missed everything before. Like, no, I set out watching the entire thing right off the bat. So you just go ahead and just keep on with the timeline. That would make less editing, but it is a TV show, so I mean, they're just putting it up on YouTube. So, all right, Graham, if you're out of here, take it easy. Oh, shoot a video of that puppy dog too. There's another video idea. You just got one, man. If I'd have got a new puppy, I totally would have like 5 videos up if I got it. Yeah, it's Monday night. Yeah, if I got it on Friday, I'd probably have like 5 videos up already. probably even finally post to Instagram or something too. But I don't know. I don't know. I like the little guy YouTube channels, and there's only so many big channels that I actually follow, and I don't think I follow any. Well, no, there's a couple gardener guys that I follow that are pretty big. But for the most part, not that much. All the big ones that I watch, I found them when they were smaller. So they just so happen to be big now because I've watched them that long. Like, geez, man, like, well, my gardener dude, I remember he was a little kid when I started watching that guy, and I can't even remember how many subscribers he had. He probably had like as many as I have now, like 2,000 or something. Maybe less. I don't know. But I found him like way early on. Because it still boggles my mind every time I see one of his videos come out. I'm like, the dude is like so old now. Like, not so old, but you know, like he's all grown up. Like, I just remember when he was a little kid, like giving tips on like growing pumpkins or, you know, whatever. And who else? I don't know. There's a couple other ones that I follow that I've followed for a long time. Shoot, might have to shut that door. Rain's coming in pretty decent. Or coming down pretty decent, which means it's probably coming in. You can see the door's open. You don't seem concerned, dog, do you? I think you're a dog. Let's check. Yeah, it's coming in. Good thing I got towel. I don't know what's up with my phone. It keeps telling me content's hidden. And then I find out it's just a voicemail. I bet it's that stupid app. Where'd that app come from? A stupid app on my phone. Like, I never downloaded it. It didn't come with the phone. It just appeared one day. I don't really use it. And when I called and complained to my phone company about text messages. Like sometimes they wouldn't go through, sometimes they would. Or every once in a while I would get a text message from like a random number that says, like, I guess it's from the company. It says like, this service is not available at this time. I'm like, what the heck? And I asked them about that, and they said it was a stupid app. Like everybody seems to be having problems. Oh, because I won't let it connect to the internet, or because I won't tell it my location, or one of those things. One of those things where I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't need to do that. I didn't even ask you for your stupid app in the first place. But whatever. Just a phone. Gotta have a shot of the puppy dog. Aw, look at that face. So cute, all curled up in a little ball. What a pookie doggy. She loves it when I bother her. Yeah. Oh yeah, like I was just thinking about the polished YouTube channels. That's one of those things I picked up on real early, and I didn't think that I would be able to do. But then after like editing a bunch of videos, like I totally could. And now that I know that I can, I don't do it just because I could. And it just seems like a polished video. Maybe that's to my own detriment. I don't know. Just, I don't know. Usually with those polished videos, you got to have music and stuff. And I try to have everything like my content. Although I guess I could do like some kind of goofy little intro or something like that. As long as I made it. I had other people offered, but I don't know. After the amount of videos I've had on my channel, like I just rather keep everything I've done like all mine. Like, yeah, with very small exception, meaning I was somewhere and there was music being played. Every single thing in my video is mine. It's either like on my property, it's mine that I bought, it's with my video, my voice, you know, everything like that. You all right? You all right? Jeez, man. I'm good? All right, she's fine. So what is the, I don't know, what's the one plant that you're most excited about growing next year? I don't know, plants. I can't think of anything. Besides everything I've got, that's always my answer. I can never I can never narrow it down to like just one plant that I'm excited about growing. It's always like these 15 peppers or, you know, something like that. What are you doing? You got your ear all flipped over. Flip your ear. There you go. Yeah. You don't look like a weirdo. Well, not much more. I don't know. It's too late to put in the guard towers instead of put in the skylight. It's not too late for the skylight. As a matter of fact, well, unless, well, if we had a no, even if we had a skylight and we were going to put one in, it's still not time. You wouldn't really do that until you had the entire roof stripped. Once you have the entire roof stripped, then it's time to throw that skylight in and then start paper and everything. That way you can paper it in and cut it in real good. That way it doesn't leak. And then you do your shingles afterwards. And then after that, you would probably go inside and figure out exactly where your skylight is and where it's going down to the floor, and then cut a hole in the floor and then build it up from there. Yeah, and that's how I am. Like, I want to grow everything, really. I wish I was a good enough grower to grow everything. Like, I get mad at myself every year that I don't grow pumpkins and cantaloupe. just because I love those vining crops. I love watching them just take off. Like I like to make them go up. Make them go up a trellis of some sort. That's my favorite. And like beans, every single year, I don't always forget, but I usually just don't get beans. Huh. Yeah, I think I've seen those. Yeah, they're yeah, I've seen those. They usually have like a long like rod that you can like stick up there and like hook onto the actuator, and you can just like spin them, or they're like motor actuated, so you can just hit a switch on the wall and they'll open up. And yep, actually those would work great here. Either I'd want the hand kind, not the electric, because I just would rely on that a lot more, but it would be more convenient with the electric. Just hit a button. But no, that would be awesome, especially like spring or fall time, where it kind of gets a little warm in the house, but not really. You could open them up because the heat will vent right out of there. Like open up like, well, it's not open right now. Well, it is a little bit. Just a little bit. But like open up the door, because then you'd have the air coming in through the door and then going out through the skylight, or the heat going out through the skylight, and keep it at a nice constant temperature. That would be pretty good. I guess if you had a fan in your attic, because I got an attic, if I had a fan in the attic, like an exhaust fan in my attic, I could, especially because, well, I could leave the attic access open, and that would like draw the warm air through the house up and out, because the ceiling's the same height through the whole house. So like all that hot air would, especially if there's movement of air, like a door open and a fan going, would just kind of like suck all the, like at the top, all the hot air all the way to the attic and then suck it right out. That would be an interesting thing to test. See if it works. Yeah, I just like growing melons because they vine. That's why I like growing certain beans, like pole beans and stuff like that, or limas. I love that, man, when they just start trellising. It's one of my favorite parts, especially when you walk out one day and all of a sudden there's just like beans like everywhere. And it doesn't take many plants to get a lot of beans too. That, and if you can green beans, oh, so good. It's one of my favorites. Just that little amount of cooking that you have to, well, I don't want to call it cooking, but technically you're heating it up to can it. Like, oh man, like it just makes them so tender. Pole beans because your dad bought the wrong ones. Well, pole beans are cool. They vine. If you had corn, you could always plant them next to the corn, and the corn will be their trellis. They'll grow right up the corn. That's a part of the Three Sisters. I miss the good old days. Way back when I grew like just regular old green beans. When I grew lima beans, those were probably one of my favorite beans to grow. I grew those limas, like not one lima made it out of my garden. I ate every single one while it was still in the garden. I guess I didn't get that many, but I got a good number, and not one ever made it out. What's up, Havana? Why do you want to get in? The V bar is open. You probably hop on there. Oh, bush beans. Yeah, I don't know which ones I like better, bush beans or like any of the vining or pole beans or anything like that. I'm not exactly sure. I want to say the bush beans because that's normally the like just regular green bean. I think lima. No, I think lima is vine. I can't remember. It's been so long since I grew limas. Ah, damn. I was about to say what I need to do is just go out there and start planting a bunch of seeds now. That way, when springtime comes around, they'll just automatically germinate and start growing. But not if they get frozen. Which I'm talking about planting in my aquaponic garden. And if I do that, then and we get a freeze, it's totally going to freeze the seeds. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Because that's how I've been getting volunteers like the last, I don't know, 5 years. They go to seed, drop their seed into the bed. The seeds sit there over winter. And then when it's springtime, they just come to life. Rob started his melons late. Yeah. Isn't the melons, cantaloupe, like, aren't those all considered to have like long tap roots that are not ideal for transplant? So it's not like you can start them inside. You'd have to like go out and start them outside. That's what they say. I'm a firm believer that you can transplant anything as long as you're focused, meticulous, like actually pay attention to what you're doing or use a completely different method. Like doing the double cup method, but instead of transplanting it out of the double cup method, drop the reservoir and put it into like one of my deep water culture beds. I think that's what they say for like cantaloupe and watermelon and stuff like that, that they got a long tap root. And what's the other one? There's something else too. Like, isn't it cilantro and coriander? I think that's another one. And this has a long tap root. Can't remember. I like string beans and snap peas. Oh yeah, just regular peas. Oh man, I grew those one year. None of those made it out of the garden either. I just, like they have like a little zip thing on them, like on the pot itself. You just like grab that thing and like zip, like pull that thing open and like open up the pod and just throw the peas in your mouth. And oh yeah, I ate the heck out of those things. Also, shallow transplant with no problem. That's good though. And so did Pedro, watermelon and cantaloupe. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one. I thought those were the ones, but like I said, I also believe that even though they say you can't transplant them, that doesn't mean you can't. Pretty sure you can do just about anything in the plant world if you pay enough attention to what you're doing and like, I don't know, I guess don't screw it up. because in my mind, okay, don't transplant them because they got a long tap root. If that's the case, okay, let's just say you got in a party cup. What if you take that party cup, turn it upside down, give it a tap, all the dirt comes out, and you put it into a bigger pot? I don't see how that's going to like disturb the tap root that much, because it's still in the soil. It's not like you broke apart the soil and like broke it all down and replanted the whole plant. You just took the entire dirt mass and put it in a bigger dirt mass. I haven't had cherry tomatoes in quite a number of years. Yeah, I love cherry tomatoes as a snack too. That's another one of those garden things that usually they never make it out of the garden. I think the first couple years, like when my parents were visiting, I would like just cut like a whole pile of cherry tomatoes off and bring them inside and be like, "Here you go, try them out." But after that, it was just like, heck with that, every man for himself. Just started eating those suckers right off the plant. But that's one of the great things about gardening, though. Like, it's not just like growing things or anything like that. It's like snack time. You go out to like check out what you got growing on in the garden, and like, there's some cherry tomatoes, and eat some of them. Like, oh, look, there's some peas. You eat them. Oh, look at that, strawberries. Like, almost none of the strawberries I ever grew made it out of the garden. And I had, what did I have? I had over 100 strawberries. I don't know if I said tomatoes, but I had over 100 strawberries growing in one garden. That was the hot tub aquaponic garden. I remember that. Because between the hydro tube that was in the hot tub aquaponic garden, not the one on the back wall, but between that and just the beds, something else I was growing in too. No, I think I'm just thinking of the hydro tube. But I had a whole pile of them. But that's how I treated them. Every time I'd go out there, there's some more snacks. Just grab all the ripe ones, eat them right there on the spot. Huh. Well, what's the difference between a grape cherry and a cherry tomato? Or a grape tomato and a cherry tomato? I always thought that was just like two different words of describing the same kind of plant. I just thought they were like both words were descriptions of the size of the tomatoes. But that sounds like they're not. Like they're actually there's like a real difference between the two. Is one more tart, like the cherry more tart, and the grape more, I don't know what the hell grape would be. I would think cherry would be more tart though, if that's part of the difference. What was indigo rose. I was growing them for a long time. I don't think I saw one pop up this year because they almost always pop up on as volunteers. But I don't think I saw any pop up this year. So that'll be the first year. But they're cherry tomato or whatever. I don't know if they're cherry or they're grape or what, but they're like, the small tomatoes. And those one, I mean, they're like the sugar rush of the tomato world. Like they take forever to ripen. Like you don't want to take them off until they are like dark purple on the top and like blood red on the bottom. Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. So I guess cherry is the round one, and grape is the oval. That makes sense. Oh, speaking of grape, man, I had this awesome grapevine going back here. Freaking huge, man. It's on its like fifth year or something like that. So we should have started getting like grapes and stuff, or at least sometime soon. And like last year, I didn't trim it up. I probably should have. I just let it go wild. And then this year, it just went completely wild. Like one whole side of the deck, it just had leaves everywhere. And I was like, man, this is the year we're going to get some grapes. And then the freaking tree fell on my pool, another tree. And then I guess when they were cleaning it up, they just like totally messed up my freaking grape, man. Like there's no leaves on it at all anymore. Like a bunch of the branches are all cut off and stuff. And I don't know if they thought it was just like a vine or something, but man, that's my grape. And I think it's Concord grape. Can't remember. It's been a while. I've been waiting for a long time for this stupid grape to actually start popping off some damn grapes. I had a giant one. It was like, I don't know, 25 feet tall in the front yard. It grew up a dead tree. Like the vines like came off and like went straight up a tree and went onto a dead tree. And it was probably like 25 feet tall. And my parents were like, tree's dead. And they cut down the entire grapevine. That thing was huge, man. It would drop so many grapes everywhere. Oh, no way. It's your birthday, Havana? Happy birthday. Yeah, I bet that's part of it too. The pruning and trellising. Yeah, I haven't done any of that stuff. I just kind of let it grow right up the side of the deck. I guess I was training it a little bit. I would take like the leaves. It would like have a big leaf or a big branch just sticking off one way, and I'd pick it up and like stick it through the pickets and then back out through the pickets. And I would just keep doing that back and forth so that it could like grow up and stay up off the ground. But yeah, I did that for years, and then now it's pretty much dead. But then again, it might be that time of the year, I guess. I don't know. But, oh yeah, I never even looked because my blackberry's right next to it. I don't know. Yeah, because the first time the tree fell, it fell like right on the grapevine. I think that's what killed my damn blackberry. If it's dead, I thought it'd just come back the next day. But yeah, it was the first tree that took it out, and then I guess the second tree didn't help any. But what you gonna do? I bought them a while ago. The grapevine was like $4. Or wait, so was the blackberry, I think. What? What are you doing? Yeah, mine had a ton of leaves. I had a bunch of branches that were just growing right into the pool, which doesn't have any water. So it was just kind of like hovering over. It's an above ground pool. So it got as high as the pool and was just like growing branches right into the pool. Is that thunder? But all right, well that's it. I'm gonna call it now. It's what the hell time is it? Coming up on 1 o'clock. So that's good enough for yet another Friday live stream. So you want to say bye, doggy? Dude, you want to say bye? Show them how excited you are. Huh? Yeah. Jeez. Oh, look at the tail going. Just beating the crap out of my couch. All right, well, that's it, man. I'm going to hop off of here. I'll catch y'all on Friday, I guess. So, yeah, do all that fun, happy social media stuff down below, and I will catch y'all sometime soon. So, thanks, Mark. Later, Rob. Later, Pedro. See you, Vanna. Happy birthday. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Later on.